What else has he got? Oh, like I was saying, he has an extra great guard. I believe they are. I think I stopped right here, and his great guard is next to me, and he doesn't spot me. It's just. I didn't even realize. I completely forgot. He has a second great guard. He must. Um, he comes running out and down the hill, and I just crapped myself because I had to quickly check if I had been shown or not. I think I should fast forward now. Yeah. Doesn't look like. I'm just letting him capture this for now, while I set up at the back. I hope this doesn't lag too much for people because until very recently I had the most horrible PC ever, and the only game I ever played was Call of Duty 2 and a few of the older Total Wars. Like I think I played from Shogun 1 through to Medieval 2, but then they come out with Empire and stuff. I couldn't play those. I got Empire and Napoleon at the same time. I think it was the Christmas before this game come out, so I had 2 or 3 months playing that. I did pretty well, and advice for the people watching YouTube videos: make sure you listen to those commentators if they sound like they know what they're doing. You don't have to take everything in, because obviously I'm not a perfect player, but I think I know the game. I think I know it pretty well. Yeah, a lot of people on the Napoleon game I did very well against, if not winning, but I found a group to play with. Yeah, everyone's very social on there. Again, you get your few odd rages, but you know that can be fun too sometimes. I think I played a Matchlock player recently on here. He spammed loads of lines of Matchlock, and he was being so racist, like saying something about me being English and he was French. I don't know, but he was saying lots of crap and saying I can't beat him because I'm not French, and it was just so much funny when I beat him at the end. So if you get some rages or people who abuse you, just put them in their place with the battle. I suppose the best thing you can do is not reply because it just feeds them, but it's just fun. While he was taking the, I don't even know what this is called. They don't call it a dojo, do they? A farmhouse. Okay, I'll try and remember that. While he was taking the farmhouse, I did move this Naginata warrior monk off to the side, just because, for me personally, that would be a juicy target for his missile units. So I put those in the woods. Hopefully he didn't see them. I don't think he did see them because he doesn't react to them. Okay, he finally starts moving his army forward. Again, it took long because we were chatting and stuff, you know, getting along well. He does keep his Matchlocks out in the front. I think they have the same range as my missile units, which blows, but yep, they'll be my primary target. I target those first because I don't want them crushing the morale of my units. Play now. I do move my cavalry around, but I think I changed my mind halfway just because that's just too far from the battle, and I realize. Yeah, concentrate fire on those. They get absolutely owned. And then when they get to a certain number, I just figure they're not much of a threat, so I ignore them. And I'll start focusing my fire on these units. As you can see, I moved up so that they were in range, so that it didn't give any suspicion. If I'm doing this fight and then suddenly I take a shift forward, you'll know I'm going to target another unit. So I kept it like this, and yep, whenever I'm ready I switch to this. I think, look, this is the first unit I target. They've got 120. I believe I get 30 or something. 20 or 30 in the first volley, which is great. And that's with a samurai unit, so and it's at 50 units, so that's pretty insane. If it was a full Ashigaru unit, it would have done a lot more. And I know they have the bad reload rate and accuracy, but it's a rank 5. It's got a good accuracy now. I mean, I think now I've got one of those up to rank 8 or 9, and it's just insane. I've got the range put up to 175, and it's flaming arrows and stuff. It's pretty awesome. Oh, yep, see there? I took out 20 of those units almost. Then now 30. They just get absolutely owned. I figured they're what's going to be my problem when it comes to the melee fight. I don't care about these matchlocks anymore. But then he makes a micromanagement error. I'm not sure if it was a bug or what, but they just come and meet each other in the middle, so I target them. Both close together. If I miss one unit, I'm likely to hit the other. Stuff like that. I think my cavalry are okay. Oh, see, here's the second great guard. He brought it out of the woods. I think one is a rank 2 and one is a rank 3. So I finish off his matchlocks, but again, I'm not worried. Mainly because instead of making the line as thin as possible so he gets as much rounds off, he's got 6 or 7 men at the front. It's just nothing. Target all of his Naginata warrior monks. My archers are getting beat up, but they're doing their job, so I really don't care. I think we must have made some agreement for him not to charge them. I think that was it. I said, I'm not moving my archers forward because of the range and stuff, because then you're just going to charge me with the cavalry. And I think he actually made a deal not to charge. So while I was being friendly, I was also manipulating him. But it's all in fun, so. I did move my general up. I'm not so great at using my general in these old battles. Whenever you see me with the golden and pink banners, I can see that myself. I didn't use him so great, but in my newer battles, I definitely rely on my general. Definitely. I definitely got leadership. A lot of people go for the combat general, which can be good, but if you read up on the generals at the start, when you're making your armies, then you know what you're up against. If you don't do that and you get surprised by a combat general, then they're effective, I reckon. But if you've read up on it, then you can counter it pretty easily. Just recognize it doesn't have a heavy cavalry. Okay, he's moved his main army forward now, which is good for my cavalry, but he's left his great guard at the back, so I'm just, the whole time I'm waiting to do that attack, I'm just so excited that I finally got all the way around. I think this arch unit is out of ammo, but I leave it at the front, just, you know, he can waste some of his ammo on it, or whatever. If his matchlocks came out the front, I could wait for them to a shot and then charge. I am keeping my men back because I've got this Naginata. I bring one just for the debuff, that's it. I always bring one. I need that debuff, it's just amazing. But I feel like bringing a full line of them is somewhat pointless. I don't think the buff stacks, so if he uses it, say these two units are fighting one of mine, if he uses one of them, and then the other, I don't think it stacks. So I've never been worried about that or anything. Again, I withdraw my valley archers, just the terrain. I couldn't come up with anything else about China, so I did valley. Probably southern China, I guess I got that from. My matchlocks get a shot off, but you can see this hill. Yeah, he gets just below it, so I didn't even get one kill. But I aimed for the unit that's already got a lot of damage. He's lost 30 men of that, he's got 90 left, and yeah, straight down to 68 from the first volley, and I managed to get a volley off just before he reaches me, and his morale drops like crazy. And now he's moved his cavalry forward. I'll just keep following this so you can see how much damage it does at point blank. There you go, into his 30s and the other units into its 90s. Now he's left his general at the back. I send in my cavalry. I think I'm aiming for his general. Yes. Okay, now the main fight starts, and just by pure luck, he leaves this little gap right here, and I've got my hidden unit of Naginata monks. So I'm keeping an eye on this gap. You should definitely do that whenever you do your main fights. Sometimes if you click literally one by one when you send in for attack, so left attack, mid attack, right attack, then your final line tends to be slanted. That's good to do if you've got something in the woods, because then they get a good shot into everyone's backs. I tend to do that on a flatter map. In this case it was mainly just go all forward because, yeah, I needed to get into this sustained combat, and I keep these units at the back at the entire time, because obviously their covering fire is going to help. Yep, see, straight through. He does manage to pull out his cavalry, which is very good, but now his cavalry is occupied, and my unit comes straight in for the charge on his general. And what he should have done with his archers, I think he didn't really get to use them in the battle. He wasted those. If he kept those at the back and shooting over, he probably could have taken out my general or lowered its morale enough to get a cavalry charge on it to rout him really fast. But he didn't do that. I think that was his biggest mistake. Also, maybe I would have made a different choice instead of charging for his general to take out his missile units, something like that. I do set up at the side here to get some shots in. But before I take my shots, I always withdraw some units. Like, here's my almost full units. They're up in the 80s out of 120 still, after that whole fight. And then I shoot in, but I keep my lowest katana samurai in there just because they're done for. They've done their job. I don't mind if they die. The Naginata monkeys, they've got such high morale. They're going to hold in there during this matchlock fire. Yep, and now it's just all about lowering his morale. I am targeted on his general just for the sake of it. If I get a lucky hit, then great, but he's pretty much done for. He does try to pull out, but it's too late. And if he did get far enough, I've got these back hits to counter it. But yeah,